J-Lo is 56, and by the way, you look great for 56.
That being said,
At 56 years old, you've had, I believe, 4 failed marriages, and you've been divorced 4 times with 4 different men, and you've had a plethora of other public-facing relationships, and you're with none of those people right now. At what point do you go, maybe it's not all of the other people that I'm in a relationship with that are the problem. Maybe it's me, and maybe I need to do some soul searching, and I need to do some really, really introspective work to figure out why it is that all of my relationships keep failing. What's up, world? Welcome back to Cancel Thoughts. It's your boy Better Days here. Our society has a tendency to pedestalize celebrities in a way that I feel like is unearned and undeserved. And the biggest issue that I think I have with that is a lot of people kind of aspire to be like these celebrities without truly understanding the lives that they live. And people think just because you have a certain amount of zeros in your bank account or a certain amount of people knows your name must mean that you have it all figured out. And I just don't necessarily see that as the case whatsoever. And one of the things that I've been noticing in particular about a lot of our celebrities is that a lot of them really struggle with maintaining intimate relationships. And
maybe we should talk about it.
Even though their business lives and their professional lives are doing great, they're really lacking when it comes to their personal lives, and their personal lives pretty much are in shambles in a lot of cases. And the video that I have today is kind of a prime example of just that, in my opinion. And it's coming from the Howard Stern show, where he had J-Lo on very recently, where she made some comments about her past relationships that I think we all should just talk about really quickly. Before I get into it though, if I by the end of this video earn you guys a subscription, do me a solid and like the video and subscribe to the channel. It really helps out a lot, guys, and it only takes a couple of seconds. That being said, let's get right into it.
As soon as you hook up with a guy,
yeah,
I don't know how a relationship could survive.
it's difficult to be under that, microscope. Yeah.
Does it seem like everything is doomed from the beginning? You know what I mean?
No, I don't feel that. I feel that I live my life very out loud, even though I was in the public eye. And I wanted to share my life with someone.
Right.
I want someone to be there when I'm having my big important moments on the red carpet. I want someone to be there, when I'm doing whatever, or when we're going to the store, whatever it is. Like, I wanted to share that. And so I didn't hide from it, and I spoke about it. And I think now, after what's happened in the past few years to me and to my children, I just feel like I want to keep that part so much more quiet in my life. And it's hard because these are big moments in your life. You want to share them with everybody, right? And you think that's okay. But the truth is, when you're in this type of career and you have the type of level of fame that we're talking about, there is a compromise. There are adjustments that you do need to make, because it is a very blessed life.
Intimate relationships are not meant for public consumption, guys. Intimate relationships are fragile things to begin with, and push and pull is kind of a dance that men and women kind of have to go through on a regular basis. And this is true for all intimate relationships, whether it's homosexual or heterosexual. I don't necessarily want to get into that conversation today, but relationships are something that is not meant for the public to have input on, especially when you're a famous person. You have a lot of these people who are really heavily invested in your life. You do not want to have your relationship be something that those people are picking and prodding at, because a lot of you guys, whether you like it or not, you care what other people think, especially if you're a female, which I think a lot of women care a lot more about the perception of other people than men do. But if you're someone who's as famous as a Jennifer Lopez, any of your relationships that you have are going to struggle, especially if you're out there flaunting it out for the public and it's like a pop culture update type of thing, to where, who is J-Lo dating at this point? How is their relationship going? And a lot of people, they like to keep especially things like their personal lives private, because they already understand that the stress of just keeping it together is hard enough without the people who are having their own different opinions of it kind of putting in their little 2 cents.
You think you've truly been loved?
No.
No. And do you think you really have experienced loving someone?
Yes.
You have?
Yeah.
And when you can't get that love back?
What I learned, it's not that I'm not lovable, it's that they're not capable.
They can't love.
They don't have it in them. They need to appreciate the little person inside of them.
They have little
need to
to
love
give.
them. Yeah.
You've been in a relationship with
And
people.
they gave me what they had.
Right, but
They
it's not
gave me
enough.
all of it, every time.
But it's this much. It's
All the
little bit.
rings, all the things I could ever want.
Right.
They tried to give me the houses, the rings, the marriage, all of it. But
They didn't love you
they didn't,
and didn't know you.
and I didn't love myself.
Right. It's tough. This is some journey, right?
It is.
And I was thinking about your music. Most of your songs are about love. They really are.
They're all
And
about love.
Isn't it convenient how the issue is always everybody else in a certain scenario? I want you guys to pay attention to the comments that she made even earlier than the question that she answered that at the end there, where she's talking about me. She's talking about I want someone to be there for me. She's not talking about I want to also be there for somebody else. It's always me, 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 me. And then later on, she then says, it's not that I'm unable to be loved. It's that they're incapable of loving me.
Well, isn't that convenient?
Whenever I hear people talk stuff about like relationships and everything, I always look at them skeptically whenever they go, the issue is everybody else that I've been in a relationship with. They've never done the work of looking in the mirror, and J-Lo is 56, and by the way, you look great for 56.
That being said,
At 56 years old, you've had, I believe, 4 failed marriages, and you've been divorced 4 times with 4 different men, and you've had a plethora of other public-facing relationships, and you're with none of those people right now. At what point do you go, maybe it's not all of the other people that I'm in a relationship with that are the problem. Maybe it's me, and maybe I need to do some soul searching, and I need to do some really, really introspective work to figure out why it is that all of my relationships keep failing.
But for some weird reason,
That's not being done whatsoever. And guys like Howard Stern, I don't necessarily know what happened to Howard Stern because he used to actually speak the truth on his shows or whatever. But guys like Howard Stern, I don't know, maybe he's trying to hit it too. Who knows? But they just allow these people to come on these platforms and talk this nonsense to where they just don't hold them accountable in any way, shape, or form. Any regular person would have been like, well, hold on. You were married to Ben Affleck. You were married to a bunch of other guys. I can't necessarily think of their names. You were in a public-facing relationship with Alex Rodriguez. You were in a relationship with Diddy, which, okay, we'll give you Diddy. He was a bad apple. But that all of those relationships failed, you mean to tell me that it was all of them and it was never you, and you didn't contribute in any way, shape, or form to the deterioration of those relationships, and we're just supposed to believe that? And this is just how I think. I don't necessarily understand how other people don't think this way, but if I've had 4 jobs in my life, okay? If at every single job that I've had, I was fired from all of those jobs, for me to sit there and go, it's all of the workplaces that I worked at and not the fact that I was a bad employee. Like, how would society look at me? You'll be like, wait, are you serious? Like, I have a friend who actually is like this, by the way, and I love this guy to death, okay? But every single job that I've ever seen him at, he's always been fired from that job for some reason, and he always kind of makes it seem like he's kind of the victim in every single scenario. But I'm like, you've had a lot of jobs, and I've observed you at some of your places of work, okay? There is no way that every single time that you get fired is just a happenstance thing and it's just you were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. No, at a certain point, it's you. It is you. And I really, really want to hold guys like Howard Stern accountable as well, because the media is supposed to be the truth kind of tellers of society. And when you bring on people like Jennifer Lopez who have no self-awareness whatsoever and can't take any accountability for some of the bad actions that they've taken in their lives on, and you kind of perpetrate that and disseminate that information out to the public, I think you're steering society in the wrong path, and you need to bear some level of responsibility as well. Again, Howard Stern used to be a really, really staunch guy. I don't necessarily know what happened to him, but something has clearly changed, and it didn't change for the better. But going back to Jennifer Lopez here, you are old enough to be somebody's grandmother, okay? You are 56, you're about to turn 60, and again, you look impeccable for that age that you are at. But at what point do you have to pause and just look yourself in the mirror and go, maybe the fact that I've been married 4 times and I can't seem to stay and maintain a relationship, maybe it's something that has to do with me. And if you're unable to do that, okay, fine. But I would implore people to not look toward people like a Jennifer Lopez as a role model or whatever when it comes to maintaining intimate relationships. I saw a lot of people kind of trying to defend the fact that, well, she's beautiful, she's smart, she's famous, she's rich or whatever. They were like, she was dating a bunch of narcissists and there's no way, shape, or form in which I would have a Jennifer Lopez and she wouldn't be feeling loved. It's like, no, maybe there's something personally wrong with J-Lo that you don't necessarily know. At the end of the day, all you're seeing is the image that she's perpetrating for you online. You don't know anything about this person when the lights are off. You don't know what it's like to live with this person in a house. You don't know if this person cooks, cleans, anything. You don't know how it is like to be having conversations with her whatsoever. All you know is what you've seen, and what you see is, oh, she's an attractive 56-year-old and I would hit it. Like, let's just keep it a stack on this, okay? I don't necessarily want to make this video too long. I want to keep it around 9 minutes or so, but it really, really upsets me when people kind of cope for a lot of these people on the internet, and they just try to make it seem like just because they're really, really famous and they're attractive or whatever, it means that they're right and they're just good people. That's almost never the case whatsoever. And those people need to do a lot of introspective work, just like all of us need to do introspective work. We shouldn't give them any kind of perceived status just because they have a certain amount of zeros in their bank account. I'm sorry. I'm going to leave it there, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below about this entire video. Have you seen people like Jennifer Lopez? And what do you think about this in particular when you kind of take into account the fact that she was with Ben Affleck, with Alex Rodriguez? All of them have failed, but for some reason she still thinks that she's the one that was providing all of the love, and she wasn't necessarily receiving the love from those guys. As always, I want to thank you guys for joining me on this video. You guys could have been anywhere else in the world, but you chose to be here with me, and I really do appreciate you. If you liked what you heard today, do me a solid and like the video, share the video, and subscribe if you haven't already. Those things really do help out the channel a lot, guys. And if you didn't like what you heard, thanks for allowing me to occupy your time. Consider leaving a comment in the comments down below, letting me know exactly what it was that you disagreed with, and maybe we could talk about it. Either way, I appreciate each and every one of you guys for pressing play on this video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.